Greetings, programs. This is Wretch, and welcome back to Shadowrun Dragonfall. In the last episode, the Battle of the Kreuzbasar went down, as Wretch gathered up the team, cleared the streets, and actually kept a bomb from being activated down here in the sewers, thanks to some help from our apparently hell-hounded Dante, and some mutants down here that we had helped earlier. So now let's go ahead and head up here and see what the aftermath of all this is, because we still have to go deal with what's left of Paul. You emerge from the foulness of the sewers, only to be met with the equally dark stench of cordite and death. Although you've saved the Kais, it is far from unharmed. Residents wander the streets dazed, holding their wounds, tending to others, observing the damage. The look in their eyes tells the story. Their illusion of safety has been shattered. You enter Paul Amsel's trade emporium, already knowing what you'll find there. The knowledge doesn't make the discovery any easier. I'll tell you what, Paul was really smart in his last moments to leave his comlink on so all of us knew what was going down. Probably kept further casualties among the team. We also have to find Blitz, because him and the dwarf vendor went to basically scramble communications, I think it was. So let's get the entire team together. Actually, let's go ahead and see if we can walk around the Kreuzbasar and find out who exactly is among the living and dead. Oh, here we go. Okay, they spared us that, and there's Blitz. Once again, the team gathers around Paul Amsel, but tonight he has no more missions to offer and no advice to give. His body lies motionless on the hardwood, cooling in the night air. The ruin on his face has been hidden under a burlap tarp. For several minutes, nobody speaks. Finally, Dietrich steps forward. I think we should say something about Paul. There's another moment of silence, then Iger speaks up. I'll go. Iger brings herself to attention and stares straight ahead. Paul Amsel was an important member of this team, and he supported us well. He said what he was going to do, and he did it. That's rare, that's worthy of respect. She looks down at the body. There's a long pause before she speaks again. Thank you, Paul Amsel, for everything. Another pause, and her voice softens. I was out of position when they came for you. I couldn't save you. I'm sorry. The others shift uncomfortably, not knowing what to say. Glory breaks the awkward moment, her voice a frosty monotone. I appreciate what Amsel did for us. It's another loss, one that this team can't afford. Glory's eyes sweep across the room, then land on Amsel's body. Her expression is impossible to read. After a moment, she turns her head to look at you. It's hard, I know, but this is why we need to keep together, support each other. No one's going to look out for us but us. Dietrich eyes you appreciatively. Ja, that's right. There's more to this than a mercenary's paycheck. There has to be. Goodbye, Paul. And I'm not even going to try to butcher that. Gingerly, Blitz steps forward. His hair is mussed, and there's a fresh bullet hole in his jacket. He smells like smoke and blood and stale sweat, and his hands tremble as he takes them out of his pockets. Well, I didn't know Paul as well as the rest of you, but he seemed like a good guy. He shuffles his feet. I didn't want to see this happen, at any rate. You okay, Blitz? Looks like you and Mallet saw some action back there. Yeah, his eyes remain fixed on Amsel's body. I'll live. As if in turn, Dante lowers his eyes sadly, lets out a heavy sigh, and closes his eyes. Alright, we'll miss you, Paul. Don't worry about the body. I know what to do. Be respectful, but be quick. After all, it's only a shell. Paul is with Monica now. We're all going to be with Monica soon if we don't do something. The Firewing came after us once. She'll do it again. Now, this is more than just us. Everyone's in danger. The whole damn F-state. Aren't you being a little dramatic? I don't think that he is, Iger Love. I really don't. Come on, everyone. Let's get a look at that optical chip. I want to see what we're dealing with. Read Alice. Oh, yes. What we went for this, what we did this entire thing for. However, looks like we can level up the team to their max. So, Iger gains the ability to reload all of her equipped weapons for 0 AP. That is nice. And Snipe gains the ability that can target 2 enemies in 1 action. Ooh. I think we're going to go ahead and do that one. Now, for Dietrich, Dragonslayer's Wrath and Dragonslayer's Shield. The Dragonslayer now harms all foes within 3 tiles of Dietrich for 16 damage. On subsequent rounds, targets take 5 HP damage and 1 AP damage. Oh, wow. That's nasty. Or Dragonslayer's Shield. The idol grows more powerful, decreasing incoming damage by an additional 2 points. Cost 1 action point, radius 3, duration 3. Well, well. I don't know. Let's get back to that one. Glory. We've got Trauma Specialist. Glory carries a Platinum Trauma Kit on each mission, which brings back down characters with 100% hit points. Or you gain a Ruger Super Warhawk. Well, we barely use the... we barely use pistols with her, so Trauma Specialist it is. And Blitz, it doesn't really matter that much, but... when Blitz is jacked into the Matrix, attack on his physical body are reduced by 3 damage. Yeah, we'll do pain suppression, that's fine. But our primary question is, do we want to have more defense or more offense with Dietrich? You know, all of these guys are offense. We don't have... Let's go ahead and augment the shield. Yeah. Just so we have that one defensive character to go along with all the nastiness that we've rocked out. We'll confirm that. Now, I also need to fix myself. And I've got 6... Or no, I have 11 right now. Pistol. Where am I? Oh, there I am. Okay, quickness is now at 6. Range combat shall now be at 6. And dang, I don't have enough to get my rifle up to 6. That sucks. A lot, actually. Okay, well, we'll confirm that. Well, maybe... Okay, with my range combat, I can get those new pistols and whatnot, so maybe that'll work. So... Oh, I can talk to Dante here. Dante lifts his head and looks up at you mournfully. The feral aggression is gone from his eyes. He's changed, you can see it, but he's still Dante. So, Wretch. Dante was very helpful out there, but I'm a little concerned about this, about his... Don't worry about it, Dietrich. It's under control. If you say so. He's not a normal dog, not by a long shot. Is he possessed? I assume you've checked his aura and discovered he's part hellhound. Monica trained him for months to be combat ready. We had a hellhound in the house, and Monica didn't tell us? For months? Wretch has him under control. Dante performed well in the field, followed commands flawlessly. I have no concerns. Welcome to the team, Dante. Woof woof. Alrighty, let's see what's going on here. And we're... okay, we're going to check everything else real quick, just to make sure. Claim payment. Haro's bribe records. Cool, for 270. Gotta take care of all the little things first. Relevant keywords. Shot nest under siege. All out wars broken out between the Rambach and several mercenary groups. Okay, this is follow through from what we did earlier. And I'm just going through here real quick. Okay. Nothing of interest. Any pay data? Nope. And we're golden. Let's go ahead and read the optical chip. You slot the optical chip into the computer's waiting chip jack. On the screen, Alice's office blossoms into view. A half-second later, a real-time simulation of Alice appears, seated behind her mahogany desk. Something about it reminds you of a figure from a wax museum, lifelike, but dead inside. It greets you with a facsimile of Alice's joyless smile. Customer name, Wretch. Its voice is hollow, synthetic, an automaton masquerading as a living woman, one you've never even met in the flesh. Account number 1012579. Greetings, valued customer. I am an offline, I've never been able to pronounce that, of the Alice persona. I have been included on this chip to answer any questions you might have about your information purchase. Nifty piece of tech. Not now, Blitz. If you are ready to proceed, I will present Alice's findings. You may interrupt this presentation at any point by saying, Alice, I have a question. We're ready. Let's get this show on the road. Very well. Commencing presentation. It goes rigid for a moment, then seems to relax. When it speaks, it sounds more natural, as though the real Alice is speaking through it. Alright, Wretch. I've got good news for you, and I've got bad news. Let's start with the good news. I found Vauclair, and he is alive. Thank God. The trail to your missing doctor was a long and slippery one. The fee that you paid me barely covered my cost for the job. I sent a team into the SOX on a fact-finding mission. I bribed government officials. I greased the palms of wage slaves at megacorps all over Europe. Each step I took eliminated possibilities, drew me a little bit closer, and finally I found the place where Vauclair is being held. It makes a sweeping gesture with its right hand and an image switchblades onto the screen, a grainy overhead photograph annotated with map coordinates. You recognize it immediately. It's that manor. This is where you'll find him. He's being held captive at a remote estate called the Harfeld Manor. You've got to be kidding me. He was there the whole time? Gloria says nothing. She just studies the photograph and nods. Okay, nobody tell me. I get it. This is something else that I missed. Alice, I have a question. It hitches again, and you can feel the life drain out of it. It looks up at you robotically. You have a question. All right, please, make your inquiry now. What else did you turn up about the Harfeld Manor? Seismological data and thermal imaging confirm the existence of a large, hollow chamber under the estate. It is my suspicion that Dr. Vauclair is being held somewhere within this substructure. If your swings kept Vauclair trapped there for almost 20 years, she's going to have a reason for it. It takes effort and resources to lock a man away for that amount of time. So what's her end game in all of this? Why not just kill him and be done with it? Malice? Revenge? Who knows? Remember, this was a man who shot her down. He sent her crashing into a radioactive wasteland. If someone did that to me, I'd want to hurt him too, and I'd make it last. I think it goes deeper than that. According to Winter's DVD, Vauclair designed the experimental weapon that shot her down, and that weapon split her body from her essence. Glory glances down at her own steel and chrome arms and suppresses a shudder. If I had to guess, I say that she's trying to make him fix whatever he did to her. That's what makes sense to me. There's a moment of silence as the group processes Glory's suggestion. Before anyone can speak, it cuts back in. Do you have another question? Well, you said that Vauclair is being held at the estate. What evidence did you turn up to support that? One of my assets at Transys Neuronet provided me with a video feed dated October 10th, 2053. The feed was taken by a corporate surveillance drone. Playback commencing. The screen is filled with a grainy black and white video feed. You recognize the Harfeld Manor, photographed from high above. The camera pushes in and the image sharpens. Through a barred ground-level window, you can see the shape of a stooped, emaciated figure. His body shows clear signs of neglect. The figure is unmistakable. It's Vauclair, 20 years older and worse for wear. His skin hangs loose on his bones and his cheeks are hollow. There's a distinctively gray pallor to his skin. That's Vauclair, all right. What's left of him, anyway. Doesn't look like they've been feeding him much. He shakes his head. Poor bastard. Another figure steps into frame behind Vauclair, an orc. He turns his head slightly and his skin grafts catch the light. Vauclair slowly turns to face Ardren, and the video feed cuts out. Do you have another question? No, let's get on with the bad news. Very well. Feel free to interrupt again with any future inquiries. It pauses, and a brief tremor washes over its body. Its eyes flutter, and you can hear the sound of your computer working to process more of the chip's data. Iger turns to address the team. If Vauclair's at Harfield, we've got problems. Last time we broke into that place, they took Monica out. It was a miracle that any of you got out alive. Yeah, but now we know what's down there. This time, we'll be prepared for it. We can handle this, and we've leveled up significantly since then. Iger shakes her head. No, it'll be even worse this time. First time we went in, we had the element of surprise on our side, but now they'll be expecting us. They're hunting us, remember? Their security team is going to be waiting for us, Dietrich. That Audrin bastard is going to be waiting for us. And even if we make it past them, we're going to have to deal with the dragon in the basement. Well, what else can we do? Cut and run? Last time I checked, that wasn't an option either. Even if it were, I wouldn't take it. I'm not running from this. Not after what they did here tonight. None of us are, Glory, but Iger's right. We can't just go charging in there again, not without some kind of edge. It jerks back to life. It resumes speaking, blissfully unaware of the conversation that it's cutting off. And now, Wretch, on to the bad news. You know where Vauclair is, but rescuing him will not be possible. Alice, I have a question. He continues, without waiting for a response. Why the hell not? In the course of my investigation, I encountered something terrifying in the Matrix. It was fast, cunning, and very definitely intelligent. I'm convinced that I only escaped because it let me go. It could have killed me in a heartbeat if I wanted, or if it wanted to. This thing that I met is protecting the Harfield Manor, and it's going after anyone who gets too close to what's happening there, so that's what happened to Monica. Alice, what did you see in there? What is going after these people? By way of explanation, I would like you to read the following document. It makes another sweeping gesture and the menu slides back onto the screen. This time it's filled with text. What you're looking at is an archived forum discussion from the early days of the Shadowland BBS. Blitz stares at this text on the screen. It isn't kidding, Chief. This discussion is dated back to 2036. That's ancient history in the decking community. It probably isn't even correct to call these guys Deckers. Hackers would be even more appropriate term. When you're finished reading it over, say, Alice, I'm done, and we can continue. Alright, let's read the discussion. As you lean in to read, the text slowly begins to scroll up from the bottom of the screen. You all hear about the SK team that got crisped a few hours ago? A whole lab's worth of researchers, all burned and broken beyond recognition. Ugly stuff. At this point, who hasn't? Power spike. Got them right through their data jacks like a bolt of lightning to the brain. A 1 in a million accident is what they're saying. And you believe that? Got a more plausible explanation? Yes, actually. It was a cleanup operation. Ooh, color me intrigued. What were they cleaning up? A secret project that Vauclair didn't want anything to do with. You might have heard rumors about it. The project name was Apex. And you've lost me. Apex? Clockwork? Seriously? That old line of Drek? I'm telling you, jokers, Apex is real. Or at least it was, until the whizworm pulled the plug. Come on, Clockwork. We're still decades away from seeing a fully functional AI. You know that. Those Apex stories that have been floating around, they're just some conspiracy nut's wet dream. Fine, keep your heads in the sand. Some of us know the truth when we read it. Okay, Clock, I'll humor you, but riddle me this. If Vauclair had an armed and operational AI in his claws, why kill it? Remember what happened to most of Echo Mirage? The crash virus killed them, fried their brains, but I don't see what that has to do with anything. With the commercial release of the CDT-1000, some security firms are working on counter-intrusion software that could do the same thing. Black IC. You can look it up if you don't believe me. Wow, this was a long time ago. Whoa, scary stuff, man. Well, the goal of the Apex project was even scarier. IC waits for you to come to it. Apex wouldn't be bound by those restrictions. It could go on hunting, hit its targets when they least expect it. That's why they called it Apex. It was designed to be the apex predator of the digital world. And so, rather than using it to his advantage, Vauclair decided to kill it in the cradle? The Whizworm's no fool. Some things are too dangerous to play around with. How would you put that genie back in the bottle if it ever slipped out of your control? Answer, you couldn't. And then it would take over the world. 111. Okay, this thread has officially gone off the rails. I'm closing it down for the good of mankind. The slow scroll of text comes to a stop. Alright, Alice, I'm done. It jerks back to life and settles into a neutral pose. There's no official records in the Crump database to support the existence of the Apex project, but the thing that I encountered was Apex. Of that I'm certain. Just as I'm certain that Apex was responsible for the deaths of Monica Schaefer, Green Winters, Clockwork, Peregrine, and a score of other Deckers over the last 16 years. Wait, Blitz raises his hands. Hold up. Alice, I have a question. I thought they said that Lofear killed Apex. They speculated as much, yes. They were wrong on that count. I do believe that Crump was developing Apex as a tool for Matrix warfare. I'm also convinced that the IT personnel who were killed were the Apex developmental team. But I don't think that Lofear was responsible for their deaths. Apex killed them. That'd be my guess, yes. In the turmoil surrounding Lofear's buyout of Crump, a number of projects went missing. I believe that Apex was appropriated by a member of Fierschwing's organization at this point. It was then unleashed on its own development team to silence them. Since then, it's provided information control for the Firewing. A pet AI would explain how Fierschwing has managed to maintain her conspiracy and avoid detection. Managed to maintain her conspiracy and avoid detection for the past 2 decades. Anytime anyone gets close, the AI takes them out and scrubs the record clean. So there's your bad news, Wretch. Vauclair is being held at the Harfield Manor, but knowing that does you no good because you can't approach the place. I doubt that you could open the door without Apex frying you. We did last time. They were trying to protect their secret. Like Audrin said, if we hadn't gone down to the basement, they'd have let us go. Apex didn't react to us until Monica attempted to force the door to the basement. And now that cat's out of the bag, they have no reason not to pull the big guns on sight. Dietrich grimaces. You're right, we can't go back while Apex is in place. The room falls into silence. Finally, Iger turns to you. What's the play, Wretch? Well, we can't turn back now. If Apex is standing between us and Vauclair, we need to find a way to kill Apex. Hey, boss, I'm in. Did you hear that, Alice? Do you have any suggestions? Hitches again. The pause stretches. Finally, it comes back to life. The AI has a kill switch, but Alice deemed any additional contact with Apex to be an unjustifiable risk. Attempting to reach the kill switch would be inadvisable. I'll be the judge of that. Alice, tell us about Apex kill switch. Thanks to my close encounter with the AI, I was able to run a trace on it. Through this trace, I discovered the physical address of a backdoor access point for Apex's programming, an old Crump research lab, long since abandoned and fallen into disrepair. The facility is now hotly contested gang territory. Oh, fun. I've also determined that a kill switch for the AI exists somewhere in the basement of this facility. I'll provide you with a physical address. I don't like the smell of this, Chief. It said that Apex let Alice escape. He turns to address the hologram on the screen. Alice, why would a Matrix Warfare AI allow you to run a trace on it? It stares straight ahead. Its eyes are dead. I'm afraid that the answer to that question falls outside of the scope of my written parameters. It stutters one final time, then looks up at you with an apologetic smile. You have now reached the end of this presentation. I've been encoded with a final message from Alice to Wretch. Playback commencing. Its eyes go wide and the life floods back into it. It stares directly at you. Wretch, if you didn't listen to me before, listen to me now. Drop this. Stop going after Vauclair. Get out of Berlin and stay out of the Matrix. I'm telling you this for your own good. That's all I have to say. I'm following my own advice. I'm out. Don't try to contact me again. It reverts to its idle state, slumping like a puppet with its strings cut. Its eyes glaze over and its face goes slack. Then the screen cuts to black. So the Dragon has a killer AI in charge of security. I can't say I'm surprised, but then nothing surprises me anymore. We know what killed Monica, we have a name for it, and we know how to kill it. That's good enough for me. We know what we have to do. We can either stand around talking about it, or we can go do it. Agreed. We shut down Apex, then we re-enter the estate and rescue Vauclair. He's the key to this whole thing. Sounds like a plan, boss. I still say that all of this crazy talk, Chief. Or that all of this is crazy talk. Taking on an AI isn't just a bad idea, it's suicide. So my vote is to cut and run. Blitz surveys the rest of the group, sees the determination in their faces. Finally, he sighs. But if you're really doing this, you'll want the best decker you can find along for the ride. And I guess that nominates me. Woo. Well, actually, I'm the best decker. Alice said that the kill switch is located in some old SK facility. Assuming that the site was shut down sometime after the Apex project disappeared, it could have stood empty for years, maybe decades. She also said that the building was in gang territory now. I wonder if it'll be anything like the Das Kesselhaus was. God, I hope not. There's only one way to find out. Let's get prepped. This thing isn't going to kill itself. And don't forget, boss, we're taking on an AI here. I'd recommend bringing the best cyber deck that you can afford. Something tells me that we're going to need all the firepower that we can get. Iger begins her weapons check. Improvise, adapt, overcome. Whatever's there, we'll deal with it. First, we find our way into the basement. She peers through the scope on her sniper rifle, and then we kill the AI that killed Monica. Damn right. The team breaks up to begin gearing up. As she slides a shell into her shotgun, Iger catches your eye. You did good out there, defending the Kreuzbasar. You've had our backs the entire way. Made good decisions. Well, in this job, we work together or die alone. Iger scowls at the floor and nods. True. You're right. Again. Anyway, we should get back to it. We've got an AI to take out after all. She pauses for a moment, frowning. Wretch, do me a favor and keep your eyes open on this one. We're walking into an unknown here. Makes me a little uneasy. Don't worry, Iger. I've got your back. She smiles, claps you on the shoulder. I know you do, and I've got yours. You've more than earned it. Stop it. You're making my mascara run. She smirks as she slides the shotgun into its sheath on her back. I have that effect on people sometimes. Come on, you two. We've got a job to get ready for. Okay, well, we know what we're going to have to do. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here. I'm going to run around and start gearing up, probably off camera. If there's anything interesting, I'll go ahead and leave it for the next one. But if you liked the video, go ahead and click like down below, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. That'd be a big help. And we'll see you next time. Later days, everyone.